Hello everybody, Ephraim Garwe here. So today is the 25th of May, 2020. You know what day it is, right? Africa Day. Yes, that's correct. Africa Day. Now, it has been 57 years since the formation of the African Union, formerly known as the OAU. There's a lot that we can talk about. I don't have time to talk about a lot of things. I'm just going to try and respond to just a few questions. The first question I want to try and respond is, what does it mean being an African? I'll try and also respond to the question, does the African Union has any significance, especially to the young people? And then the last question I'll try and respond is, what can young Africans do to better the future of Africa? Now, what does it mean being an African? A lot of people may look at being an African as being a black person. A lot of people may look at being an African as having the black skin color. I think that being an African is beyond this black house that I live in, this black boat that I live in. Being an African is beyond the black skin that I wear each and every morning. Being an African is beyond living in the confines of the borders of the African continent. I think that being an African is an identity. Being an African is an identity of love. Being an African is an identity of struggle, an identity of overcoming struggle, an identity of overcoming trouble, an identity of overcoming all the odds, an identity of overcoming slavery, an identity of overcoming colonialism. That's what it means to be an African. Being an African is an identity of untapped minds, an untapped potential, untapped ideas, untapped greatness. That's what it means being an African. Being an African means untapped ideas that are still fresh. That's what it means being an African. Now, if we look at the African Union as an organization, what has it done? Well, the people that came before us have done their part, and I think it's time that we as young people stand up and create a new course for Africa. Africa has been suffering from a number of illnesses. Africa has been infected by viruses. Africa has been attacked by viruses. I'm not talking about HIV virus. I'm not talking about coronavirus. I'm not talking about flu virus. That's not what I'm talking about. Africa has been infected by the virus of corruption. Africa has been attacked. Africa has been infected by the virus of bad governance. Africa has been infected and attacked by the virus of violence, virus of xenophobia. Africa has been attacked by a virus of aging leadership, bad governance, corruption, nepotism. Those are the viruses that has affected Africa. Those are the viruses that have attacked Africa. Viruses of poverty, viruses of injustice, viruses of inequality. Those are the viruses that have attacked and infected Africa. Now, if we are going to create a new course for ourselves, if we are going to create a new course for Africa, we need to revive the dreams of our forefathers. We need to revive the dreams of Jomo Kenyatta. We need to revive the dreams of Kwame Nkrumah. We need to revive the dreams of Julius Nyerere. We need to revive the dreams of our forefathers who came before us. Dreams of uniting Africa. Dreams of bringing Africa together. There's unity in power. So if we can come together as Africa as one, we can do a lot. I dream of an Africa free of violence. I dream of an Africa free of guns. I dream of an Africa full of peace. I dream of an Africa full of equality. I dream of an Africa full of prosperity. I dream of an Africa, a one Africa, a united front Africa, a united Africa. That's what I dream about. If we are going to create a new cause for ourselves, young people need to stand up. Young people have a role to play. Young people need to stand up and take positions of leadership. Young people cannot continue to sit by the roadside and watch old people leading. Young people need to stand up and get into the positions of leadership. Young people need to stand up and get into politics and begin to contribute to the development of Africa. We cannot continue to be looked as only consumers. For the past years, Africa has always been viewed as consumers. Africa has always been viewed as a second class citizen of the world. We cannot continue to perpetuate that mindset. We cannot continue to perpetuate that narrative. We need to stand up and break that narrative. We need to stand up as young Africans and create a new course for ourselves. I dream of an Africa full of peace, full of love, full of oneness. That's the Africa that I dream of. I dream of an Africa free of hatred. I dream of an Africa free of violence, free of xenophobia, free of guns. That's the Africa that I dream of. I hope that one day we will have such an Africa, but we will need to stand up as young people. Young people, we will need to stand up and create a new future for ourselves, a new Africa for ourselves. That's what we need to do as young people. So as we celebrate Africa Day today, we need to take that into mind, that as young people, we have so much work to do in our hands to create a new course for ourselves, to create a new future for ourselves, to create a new future for Africa. Happy Africa Day, everybody.